As we approach our Independence Day and those celebrations that surround it, we pray for the safety of our citizens. We pray for our police, firefighters, first responders, and all those getting ready to protect us. Lord, make us a generous people, a holy nation, and guide us that we may always act in accordance with your will. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Monday, July 2nd, 2018 City Council meeting. I will now call the meeting to order. Mrs. Donaldson, roll call, please.
Fitzwater.
Present.
Graham.
Here.
Hensley.
Here.
Hussey. Kimna.
Here.
Mahalovich.
Here.
Prather.
Here.
Schreiber.
Present.
Ward.
Here.
Wiseman.
Present.
Item 3, I'll ask for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 4, miscellaneous agenda items. We're happy to have this evening with us Ms. Carolyn McDowell and Mr. Bob Pretty to present the American Revolution Bicentennial 1776 to 1976 City of Jefferson, Missouri Bicentennial Community Certificate. So I welcome you both to the podium and would like to note that Carolyn McDowell is a former city councilwoman, so welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, and City Council people. I appreciate you letting me be here this evening because at one time I had the opportunity to sit in this room for a long time. But I'd like to speak to you about the bicentennial of 1974 to 1976 here in Jefferson City, Missouri, or the city of Jefferson. When I was a young person sitting in the council chambers on the top of the hill, I was new and pretty young at that time, and John Christie was our mayor, and he did not know what to do with this young woman. So he found this letter that was sent to him from the federal government asking us to be a bicentennial community. What was he going to do with it? Well, there's that little young person over there. I'll give it to her and she'll stay out of my life. So we did not stay out of her life for 2 years. And we did not stay out of the life of many of the citizens. And I'm not sure that anybody in here even remembers that time. Maybe Mark Schreiber. But we want to also talk about the Sunday, June the 30th, 1974, when we became a bicentennial community, not only for Jefferson City, for the state of Missouri and the United States. But I'm going to let Bob Pretty, because we know that he knows how to talk, he knows how to tell a story. He's the best we have, not only in central Missouri, but all over.
Thank you, Carolyn.
I'll be back.
All right, welcome, Bob.
Thank you. Jefferson City is about to enter a real celebration era. Next year will be the 200th anniversary of the first steamboat to come past Jefferson City. Next 2 years, 3 years, in 2021, we'll celebrate the bicentennial of the legislature designating the city of Jefferson as the city where the state capitol would be located. In 2024, we'll celebrate the centennial of the dedication of the state capitol building. In 2025, you'll celebrate the bicentennial of the incorporation of Jefferson City, and in 2026, we'll be celebrating the bicentennial of the state capitol being moved here from St. Charles to be the permanent seat of government. So we're involved in a very historic era right now in Jefferson City, and it's appropriate that Carolyn clean out her attic and I clean out my closet and bring you a couple of things tonight. Jefferson City became a bicentennial city, as she mentioned, in 1974. The city council appointed a bicentennial commission, and I think there are only about 4 of us left in town who were part of that commission: Carolyn and me and Jim Wish and Betty Jo DeLong. The others have either died or moved away, and I'm not sure where some of the others who might still be alive would be right now. But in 1974, we were given the job of celebrating the bicentennial, the American Revolution Bicentennial, in Jefferson City. We were not given any money to do this. We had to raise all of our own money. We did that a number of ways. We opened a little bicentennial store where people could come in and buy souvenirs, lapel pins, and I forget what all we had, flags and things like that. We brought the American Freedom Train here in 1976. Carolyn and I both remember as children when the Freedom Train toured the country in the 1940s. It made a big impression on us, and we knew that we had to have the American Freedom Train come here during our bicentennial year. It celebrated its first anniversary on the rails in Jefferson City. Some of you might be old enough, and there might be folks in the audience who are old enough to remember this half-mile long red, white, and blue train with a big steam locomotive that pulled it in here. And we parked it out on Industrial Drive. And while it was out there, they cleaned the bricks out of the firebox and put new fire bricks in there so they could chug further on down the road. The fire bricks came from Mexico, from the A.P. Green Company. So the rest of the voyage of that Freedom Train, that locomotive, and it still exists today, it probably still has Missouri fire bricks in the firebox. So we had a big contribution here. We had 50,000 people come to see the Freedom Train in Jefferson City. It was such a popular attraction that the train decided to stay here an extra day instead of going to St. Louis, which didn't please St. Louis at all. But that's what we have. This is the certificate that was given to the city, and so it's being returned to the city, and with it, I'm giving you an official American Revolution bicentennial flag that was given to us during that year. You can do with these whatever you would like, but we think these belong to the city because we were working on behalf of the city during all of this. It's also important that we recollect at this point, because in a few days we're going to have the annual fireworks show and the 4th of July celebration here in Jefferson City. And that big celebration, all those fireworks began with our committee in 1974 and 75. The first big waterfront fireworks display went off in 1975. It was repeated in 76, then later was taken over by others. But we were the ones that started that. And Jim Wish was the one who set off the first fireworks on the barge on the river. Unfortunately, some of those fireworks went off when they shouldn't have, and Jim wound up in the hospital that night. But that's when that all started, was with the Bicentennial Commission that we had here, set up by the City Council. There were keel boats that came through town. One of them pulled up down on the riverfront. We had a concert. It was a special concert barge where there was a symphony, an orchestra concert on that barge. That was back in the days when you could walk down and walk across the railroad tracks to a cleared area along the riverfront before there was Adrian's Island. And we sat there and we listened to the performance on this barge on the river, long before anybody thought of having a concert in the prison, which was impossible at the time anyway. But we had the keel boats who came through here, the ones that reenacted the Lewis and Clark exposition, stopped here and people got aboard them. The bicentennial wagon train came through, Conestoga wagons, recreating. Each state had its own Conestoga wagon. That wagon train came through Jefferson City. We did tree plantings. Loman's Landing, Jefferson Landing, was the official state bicentennial project, and we dedicated that on July 4th of 1976. We had a statewide conference in Jefferson City that we hosted, and John Warner, the one-time husband of Elizabeth Taylor and later a U.S. Senator, I'm not sure for which he is best remembered, but he was the national chairman of the Bicentennial Commission, and that is his signature, that faded signature that you see on this certificate. He came here and spoke to this statewide conference, and we put out a big catalog of all of the events that were being held at that time to celebrate our 200th anniversary. 2026 not only will be an anniversary for this city, but 2026 will be the 250th anniversary of this nation. So this is a kind of time perhaps to remember what we did in 76 and be thinking, those of you who are term limited, and unfortunately many of you are, most of you, all of you are, I don't know if you'll be around the City Council in 2026, but perhaps pass on to your successors that they need to be thinking about a way that we celebrate our 200th anniversary as a city and our 250th anniversary as a nation. That all can happen in 2026. Those are just some of the things that went into what we did in 1976 and why this certificate is so important to the city, because the city did so much and there were so many things that carried over from that event more than 40 years ago that we continue to enjoy today. So we're proud that we were part of that, and we're proud to be able to present to the city this certificate as well as a bicentennial flag, and you may do with them as you wish, but certainly these things belong to the city because we were a creation of the city and we carried out our responsibilities well with the city, I think, and we're proud of what we did, and we're proud of the legacy that we have left behind that we still experience today. This bicentennial flag, I'm not going to unfurl it for you. I don't know that I've ever even taken it out of the box, so it's pure. But this is the flag, and the city is welcome to have it. I'm going to just, for now, I guess, leave it on the shelf under here, and somebody can come retrieve it after the meeting. But Carol and I thank you for your attention, and we thank the city for the opportunity we've had all these years to bask in the glory of that event and to enjoy the things that have flowed from it all these years later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pretty.
One more thing about this, that when we received this certificate, it would go through hands, and so everybody could touch it. It was from Monsignor Vogelweid, who was the prayer. We had to ask him to keep it short because we had helicopters coming over. And the Congressman Dick Eichert was here to talk with us about today's day. The Fort Leonard band was here. And we went on, and everybody touched it so we would have people involved. So the last person that touched it before he gave it to me was John Christie. And I'm going to give this back to John Christie. Mayor, it's yours.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you, Carolyn. We will definitely display that proudly here at City Hall, and hearing and learning and knowing the history so that we can carry that forward to the future generations and look forward to all of these celebrations that you all referred to. But certainly we offer a huge amount of thanks for what you all started working together for the celebration back in 1976, for the fireworks that we're getting ready to enjoy now, all the things that started then, and look how they've grown and look where we are now, and it only makes us dream of the future. So certainly thank you, and being in the John Christie building that is known as City Hall, not everybody realizes that it is named for Mayor Christie as well. So it's great to hear that history, and we thank you very much. And I would ask if council has any questions. Bob, if you want to come up too. First of all, I know, Bob, we could listen to your history all the time. I wish we could just have you as a regular, because you know more about history of Missouri than anyone I've heard.
Well, thank you. So if anybody has questions, we'll be glad to answer them, or if you just want to send us emails or call us on the phone sometime and ask us something, we're glad to do that.
Thank you. Yes, let's definitely get a picture before you leave. Are there any questions of council members? Okay. Well, you know what we're going to ask for is a picture here. So why don't we have council behind us, and then maybe we'll grab the certificate and have you and Carolyn up front here.
That's right.
Really? Are we blading?
Yeah, we are blading. Carlos is a non-blader.
Yeah, but not that.
Blade.
To the right.
All right, well, let us slide this out.
Hey,
Come on, Steve.
Yeah, come on back. Fill in for Ken anyway. Come on.
Blade.
Very good. Perfect.
Oh, so great.
We've had a. If we ever have a special selfie request, I honor it.
I didn't bring this.
I think it's kind of funny that, like, in so many years, when they look back, like in 1976, they would have thought, what in the world is such a thing? Okay, let's get behind it, we'll get the city seal.
You know that, Darcy.
Yeah.
You be on Facebook tonight. Moments away.
Thank you again, thank you all.
It's probably already there. That's ours.
That's ours, okay. So, put it here. I don't want to block Rick. I think we're good, right?
Turn here.
How's that?
It's good.
That way I can make faces at my fan, you won't know.
Well, that is so cool. We will find a great place to display that. Loved hearing the history and can't wait to see the flag. We're going to have to get that displayed here as well. All right, item 5, public hearings. There are none. Item 6, no appointments by the mayor. 7, presentations from staff, consultants, and invited guests. We have none this evening. Item 8, announcements by mayor, council, and staff. Do we have any announcements this evening? Councilman Prather?
Yes, I just wanted to announce that our first budget meeting will be the 23rd of this month at 5:30 in this chamber, I believe.
Okay. Thank you. Any other announcements? And then you can also get our full calendar at jeffersoncitymo.gov. And I'll give my announcements. Of course, for many meetings, I've been focusing so much on Inside the Walls, and that was Saturday night, and it was a very successful concert, very high energy, great show, far exceeded any expectations. That it was just amazing. Heard great comments. So Big and Rich were just amazing, so nice and genuine, and really had fun and enjoyed Jefferson City. They're very patriotic. They brought a veteran up on the stage to highlight their involvement in veterans. John Rich also has a brand of whiskey. It's called Redneck Riviera, which he had on hand at the concert. But a portion of the proceeds goes to Folds of Honor, which is a veterans organization. So he invites everyone to support Folds of Honor or simply honor the veterans. He did call out on stage their support. And in addition to veterans, he singled out also police officers and others that involved in public safety that really watch out for all of us. So it was a wonderful concert, great night, a little warm, but by the evening it turned out to be a nice breeze coming through the prison. I know we had a couple council members there. Councilman Fitzwater was there. Councilman Kemna was there. I don't know if I missed anyone else. I know Steve was there. So I don't know if y'all have anything to add for your experience that night. You want to go for it?
Sure, I'll make a comment. It was an amazing night. I think it was an amazing night for Jefferson City. As you indicated, they were well aware of their location, very complimentary of the city, the work that you had done prior to. I think it was good PR for our city. You know, I've seen tweets, I've seen obviously a lot of Facebook activity, but I think it was very positive for our city and for the project. They did mention the fact that we were soon to get acquisition of the land, so obviously we're aware of that. So I think it was a home run for our city. So thanks for your work on it.
Well, thank you.
And what was their opening song?
They were coming to our city. All right, we got to do it one more time. And we woke up by the river.
Oh my God.
In Jeff City, Mo! Woo! And you know, they led with that song, and that was just the coolest thing ever to see them on stage. And the way they said, it happened. Like, it became real. Like, they really woke up by the river in Jeff City, Mo. I mean, it was just so cool the way they really loved that. They loved when songs come true. I mean, they just went on about how cool that was, and we all, of course, just loved it. Kevin, what do you think?
I concur with everyone else. Just the only thing I'll add is I really enjoyed that Murphy's Ford was also a part of the concert, because I know a lot of people came there to see them as well, and Jeff City's own. So I know they're excited to be there. I know a couple of them said it was kind of a dream come true for them to play in front of Big and Rich in front of the show, and so it was exciting to see them also be a part of such a great event. So
that was great having them involved. Appreciate that. And we also were thankful we had Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe there on hand. He's for years and years been a sponsor and a big supporter of the Salute to America Festival in Jefferson City with the fireworks and everything else for a long time. And he's also been a big supporter, of course, of prison redevelopment and this concert Inside the Walls. He's been involved for 3 years, that we've had this. So he was there, and he got on stage and talked about the involvement with veterans, and so it was nice having him there as well. So there are pictures of Lieutenant Governor with Big and Rich, and they're out on Twitter, and it's kind of cool to see that. Lieutenant Governor Kehoe also had a declaration that it is Big and Rich Day in Jefferson City. It was on Saturday, or in Missouri. Let me get that right. Of course, in Jefferson City, we did declare it Big and Rich Day, but Kehoe also had a declaration for the state of Missouri. So kind of a big deal. It was Big and Rich Day here in Missouri on Saturday, and of course due in part to them being here in Jefferson City, but also all they've done for veterans and other great causes. So we appreciated them, but I can't say enough. In fact, I'm kind of surprised I'm here, because I got on the tour bus for a minute and I almost thought I'm just going to keep going. I didn't know if they need a backup singer or a backup dancer or both. I mean, Y'all laugh. Like, you're like, we're kind of surprised you're here too. I know. I can see it in your eyes. You're like, really? You didn't just keep going, but I considered it. So, but I love Jeff City way too much. So anyway, it was incredible. Great, great night. So, of course, with my other announcements, we want to talk about, I didn't hear what you said over there. I can never play poker. Oh, great. Yeah, no, you can't. I can see it in your face. So this week kicks off Salute to America. So if you want to check out salutetoamerica.org, we have, there's a whole listing of things that are going on. Tuesday, it starts tomorrow night. We have the parade at 6 p.m. Kicks off here at City Hall parking lot, goes up High Street. And then tomorrow evening, in front of the Capitol, kind of to the east of the Capitol, just shifted slightly due to construction, but we will also have the Zoso Led Zeppelin tribute band and Interstellar Overdrive, the Pink Floyd tribute band. So also, if you want a prison ghost tour, go on Missouri Penn Tours. You can even have a tour tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, July 4th, all day long, there's things going on in the downtown area for several blocks and stages of entertainment. And that night we have Dr. Vegas at the Capitol, followed by the big Red, White, and Boom Sky concert, where you can tune in your radio and you can watch and listen to the most patriotic and amazing fireworks show that you'll ever see. So we're happy to host that here in our capital city. Looking forward to that. salutetoamerica.org. And another event that was today, which is why I'm wearing this Heroes Outing shirt, that was today at Ken Lanning Golf Center over at Turkey Creek. It was a very successful event. They were trying to raise money to buy some accessible golf carts. They had lunch there for veterans, and if you weren't able to go but you still want to contribute to the cause, just give Danny Baumgartner a call out there at Turkey Creek and he will make sure they get it. They may still have some shirts available like this one. They're $35. Very patriotic. It has the Capitol on here, but we want to definitely do all we can to support our veterans. And they also noted again today that this is the only accessible golf course. So for handicap accessible, it's the only one in the nation of its kind. So we have something very unique here in Jefferson City that can cater to veterans or the elderly or anyone with any need to utilize an accessible golf cart. So very, very unique. We wish them success. And the last thing to mention, we did have an MSP meeting on Friday. We had a successful tour of some of the area. I don't know, Councilman Schreiber, if you want to touch on that at all.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll say, for those that were able to attend, it was neat to get inside of the old shoe factory, the one that overlooks the river, and also to get in Housing Unit 5. Those are two places that are very rare to get in. They're not on the regular tours. And as we made it up to the top of the shoe factory, Commissioner Helsher, I think, said it best, and when he just said, this is priceless. I mean, the view is incredible, and just the whole development itself, if you had to kind of sum it up. And we're very much excited about the possibilities, and we had several council members in attendance, Councilman Hensley, and then we had Fitzwater and Rick Mahalovich and Rick Prather, and I'm trying to remember who all was there. We had Schreiber and Dave Kimna, right? Who else was there? Who did I miss? And Ryan Molman, yes. So we had a good showing, and Randy was there too. So we had quite a few of us there to kind of, you start sort of, when you start walking it, you start realizing what we have, and you see it and you feel it, and you just really get to see, it's different from looking at a conveyance on paper and thinking about it when you actually are walking it and taking in the view and the whole magnitude of this development. So we appreciate that and looking forward to that. All right. So that's my announcements, and yes.
Or last Tuesday, you guys had the opportunity, but you maybe missed it, that Carlos was sporting a purse for the United Way and the Power of the Purse at the
That's right.
Country Club. So it did a great job. So yeah, but actually the United Way raised about $40,000, which was a great event. It's the second year that they've had it. So it was a great event for them. So
You wore it very well, Carlos, I must say. It was pink, and you worked it. Raised a lot of money for that, or for United Way. And appreciate all our public safety and public works and parks, all of our city departments that come together for our 4th of July festivities. A lot of this work is done behind the scenes, and we don't always realize what all goes into making it successful. So we encourage everyone to be cautious, enjoy the festivities, but I know Chief Schrader and the police department recently put out a press release last week talking about making sure that you want to not drink and drive, a designated driver, and just kind of reminding everyone not to indulge in the festivities and get behind the wheel. So we appreciate that press release going out, but also to make sure we all stay safe and appreciate our police and fire especially. Thank you. Number 9, Lincoln University Student Representative Update, Miss Wanjaro. Nothing going on at Lincoln. Kind of quiet there right now with summer. Well, we still are glad to have you here. And we look forward to welcoming the new president here soon. Thank you. Item 10, presentations from the gallery on specific bills. We have one person signed up, Mr. Kenneth Israel E. Banks. Is Kenneth here? No? Okay. Then we'll go on to item 11, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 12, bills introduced 2018-21.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri establishing a local historic district to be named the School Street Local Historic District and adoption of associated building design requirements.
Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a ordinance that would approve and adopt our first local historic district and also approve the design standards, design guideline standards that were associated with it. It originated, wrong button, sorry. There you go. It originated from property owners in this area here. 75% of them, about 22 out of 28, were able to put together a petition or an application for a historic district in this area. Basically, these houses run along McCarty, down Lafayette, and parallel down Wares Creek, with 3 of them over on the other side of Lafayette. The application resulted in a public meeting we had with the property owners and adjacent owners to tell them about the historic district, some of the regulations and the process that it would go through. May 1st, it was presented to the Historic Preservation Commission. They reviewed it. They took testimony from several citizens in the area and the property owners, and they voted 4-2 to recommend moving forward, recommended to the City Council to approve the local historic district and design guidelines. In June 14th, it went to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Once again, there was a lot of public testimony, and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended a neutral recommendation. They are not recommending approval or not to approve it. They were neutral in it. And with that, I'd be glad. Oh, the fiscal impact. It's probably minimal. I would imagine the fiscal impact would be extra workload that the city staff could absorb in terms of reviewing and working with the Historic Preservation Commission on design guidelines when they came in from a property owner that wanted to do work on the property. And I'd be glad to answer any questions relating to any of this.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Thanks. Item B, 2018-22, Mr. Sanders.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri accepting and approving the final subdivision plat of Turtle Creek Subdivision, Section 2, a subdivision of the City of Jefferson, Missouri.
Now, Mr. Sanders, again.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a final subdivision plat. If you can see up on the screen, it is basically off of Country Club right before it hits Loman Road. It's that shaded area up into the upper left of the map. It's approximately 41 lots and about 16 acres. There's 3 roads on it. The planning staff recommends approval. The Public Works Department reviewed it. They do have some minor, and I say minor, revisions they want to the plat before it is finally signed. And the Planning and Zoning Commission approved recommendation, I believe 8-0 on it. I'd be glad to answer any questions with this one too.
Thank you. Any questions? All right. Item C, 2018-23.
An ordinance amending Section 19-401, Streets and Highways, Schedule J, Parking Prohibited, Subparagraph A of the Code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, pertaining to portions of Ronan Court and Ryder Court located in Turtle Creek Subdivision.
Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I accidentally left a slide out, but luckily the slide for this one is the same as the slide for this bill. There's a subdivision plat there. It's not necessarily oriented in the right direction, but basically on the sides of the street that are highlighted in green, those would permit parking. This is just basically a formality we have to go through to update Schedule J in terms of where parking is permitted and where it is not permitted. Be glad to answer any questions related to this.
Any questions? Okay. 2018-24.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Syntec and Associates for heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration maintenance services.
Mr. Moresh.
Thank you, Mayor. As clerk indicated, contract with Syntec, the local company here in Jefferson City, for HVAC services at the city. That's all departments. It's an on-call contract, hourly type contract. The estimated amount is $59,000. That's just based on past years' usage. And this contract, once approved, would be eligible for up to 3-year renewals. 3-year renewal. 1-year renewals, excuse me. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you. 2018-25.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri amending the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by appropriating additional funds within the Sales Tax F Fund.
Mr. Molman.
This is a bill that identifies some money for matching funds for a grant that the city, in conjunction with Cole County and Callaway County, are looking into pursuing. For more details, Mr. Randy Allen from the Chamber of Commerce is here to address any specifics that you have on this, and if there's any specific questions on the funding sources specifically and the mechanisms, Ms. Miller will be able to address those as well.
Thank you. Well, at this time, why don't we start with Mr. Allen? Welcome, and we'll have you make the presentation on 2018-19. Thank you.
Members of the council, pleasure to be here tonight to talk a little bit about the grant funding application, which is the second part of what I wanted to come here to talk about tonight, and that is the Port Authority. But we are submitting in time for the July deadline an application to do some preliminary planning on the port project itself. This came up kind of at the last minute. It kind of rushed out of Congress, and they put it on the agenda. And so we want to see if we can take advantage of that. Originally, we thought that there was a minimum grant for this funding opportunity, but as it turns out, there's not for the planning grants. This is the first time they've done planning grants for the build application, and so we're kind of excited about that because we believe we're teed up just right for this. We're asking the three partners to contribute to the local match. We're asking for $375,000 in this authorization. If we get the grant, we will only use about half of that. If we don't get the grant, then we want to use that $375,000 to go ahead and do the environmental, to do site survey, and to let the project move forward. So the application that we're putting in is roughly $900,000. And then again, the local match that we're asking you to put in for is $150,000. The Cole County to put in $150,000, and Callaway County to put in $75,000. We're meeting with Cole County tomorrow morning and Callaway County tomorrow afternoon to basically ask for those two things, which is the authorization to spend, to set aside the local match for this grant, and to also authorize the three-way agreement for the Port Authority itself. I know I'm jumping ahead. I have two things on the agenda here. Is that okay, Brian? Questions?
Councilman Prather.
For this bill, would it help for us to suspend the rules to go ahead and pass this portion tonight, so you might be able to coordinate with the both Callaway and Cole County?
Yes, we're asking Cole County in the morning and Callaway tomorrow afternoon to actually authorize both of these things, and they could do that. So it would be very timely.
Thank you. Any further questions at this time? Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Councilman Prather.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to suspend the rules.
Okay, we've had a request to suspend the rules. Are there any objections to suspend the rules? Okay, seeing none, we will take up 2018-25.
Supplementally appropriates $80,531.20 within sales tax F and amends budget $69,468.80 within sales tax F for Port Authority for matching grant funds.
All right, so we've had the presentation. Is there any council questions or deliberation on the bill? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Fitzwater,
Aye.
Graham,
Aye.
Hensley,
Aye.
Hussey, Kimna,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schreiber,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Bill passes. 13, bills pending. We have 2018-19.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a professional services agreement with Midwest ATC Service Incorporated for the purpose of providing air traffic control services at the Jefferson City Memorial Airport for the period of October 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2018.
Mr. Marash?
Thank you. As clerk indicated, this is a contract with Midwest ATC. Basically they operate the airport tower, and the city's this is a contract for a shared services with the FAA to operate this tower. Our share is 18%, which totals just over $89,000. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, roll call, please.
Graham,
Aye.
Hensley,
Aye.
Hussey, Kimna,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schreiber,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Wiseman,
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2018-20.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri amending the 2017-2018 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri appropriating additional funds within the Park Fund.
Mr. Spalding?
Thank you, Mayor. We are asking for approval for the supplemental appropriation to of $645,000 to get some things done, some related to our master plan, some related to some operational type things, being in our first full year of operation with the link. A big portion of this amount has to do with fitness equipment, kind of our last payment to Lincoln University that's related to the fitness equipment. Improvements done at some of our ball fields that are long overdue, and also some trail connections and a few other things as you saw in the list. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or council deliberation on the bill? Okay, roll call, please.
Hensley,
Aye.
Hussey, Kimna,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schreiber,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Wiseman,
Aye.
Fitzwater,
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Bill passes. Nothing on the informal. Item 15, resolutions, RS 2018-7.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a regional port authority agreement with Cole County and Callaway County.
Mr. Molman?
Thank you. This resolution approves a agreement between the city, Cole County, and Callaway County to establish a regional port authority. This agreement is a prerequisite to application to the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for actual establishment of the port authority. And Mr. Allen, I believe, can finish up and give more detail on this particular item.
Welcome back.
Thank you once again. First of all, let me point out some of our chamber team that's here tonight. Jason Aki, Garrett Heckman, Janet Reckenbard is here. They're members of our executive committee. They've been involved in this since we began working on it. And then Missy Bonos, my colleague at the chamber, staff member, director of economic development, very heavily involved in this project as well. So a year ago, you'll recall, we were here talking and asking you about the idea of even doing a feasibility study for the Port Authority or for the Port project. And you concurred. Callaway County, Cole County, City of Jefferson, the Chamber all put money in for that feasibility study. We were trying to time it with the consultant that was working on the MoDOT study. That worked very well. They completed phase 1 in January and really showed a really good benefit cost analysis of the port project. They completed phase 2 just this last month and showed a dramatic economic impact if this thing were fully developed. So that was really beneficial to us. We needed that to move forward. We began the Port Authority application about 3 months ago, pretty hot and heavy. and we're working on that now. Hopefully the county, hopefully tonight you will approve this agreement. Cole County will do it tomorrow morning, and we'll go to Callaway County tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap that up. Once that happens, then we can do a public hearing on this. It's not a public hearing that you all do. It's basically a public hearing that this entity that you just getting ready to create will do. And that will be held on Thursday, July 26th. It requires a 21-day notice and a 15-day notice. That will be here in the council chamber, so we're going to be noticing all that out. And then once that happens, we'll complete the final application, deliver that to MoDOT around August the 1st, and then hopefully we will be put on the agenda, the MoDOT Commission agenda, for the September 5th meeting. And if all goes well, we will have our Port Authority approval at the September 5th meeting. We have to travel all the way to St. Louis to attend that commission meeting, but we're happy to do it. So again, this has been a process. We think it's gone very well. It's one step in the big picture. Thank you for approving your part of the grant match. We're excited. We've talked to a lot of people about this, and we're going to continue to talk to people about this as we move forward. And we hope it's going to have a dramatic impact in our region. Be glad to answer the questions that you might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Allen? Okay.
Just one more thing, I keep forgetting one of the most important parts. So what's the Port Authority, how is it constituted? Well, so there'll be 3 members that will be appointed by the City Council, 3 by the County of Cole, and 3 by the County of Callaway. And one of those members can be one of the councilmen here tonight if you deem that to be important. And then obviously Cole and Callaway may do the same thing. 9 members, and that 9 members will be responsible for administrating the Port Authority. And the name that we've chosen is Heartland Port Authority of Central Missouri. So it has a regional flair and a local flair, so people will be able to tell where we're at.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Allen. All right. Is there a motion to take up Resolution RS 2018-7?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Hussey, Kimna,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schreiber,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Wiseman,
Aye.
Fitzwater,
Aye.
Graham,
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Well, I'm glad that Jefferson City can lead the way as you go and talk to the other entities. Mr. Allen, please express our support to Cole County and Callaway County, and we really appreciate the partnership. We wouldn't be even this far at all without all working together, and along with the Chamber and all of you that are here in support of the Chamber as well. This is a wonderful potential project, and really look forward to working together to see this through to fruition. So appreciate the council's support as well. All right, thank you, Mr. Allen. Item 16, presentations from the gallery on other topics. We have nobody signed up for that. Item 17, is there any council and staff discussion of presentation topics? Item 18, any new business? 19, any unfinished business? All right, 20, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye. All right, everybody have a happy and safe 4th of July. Thank you. Who said nay over there? 6:45.
Turn the lights out.
Yeah, me too. That's great. Very nice.